The atomic bomb.
And he scores on the last play of the game. Unbelievable.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Quincy Ball Sports. And today we have NFL picks. Now, these were supposed to be uploaded on Monday, and college picks were supposed to be uploaded today. But I'm not gonna lie, I forgot. So that's my B. But college picks will be up tomorrow, just a day later. So I'm gonna add a little thing here. I'm going to add a fantasy players to watch, meaning one fantasy player or two or three in each matchup that can get you some points in your league. However, you can take it or leave it because I'm 1-2 in my fantasy league with my friends. I'm not the best at fantasy football, so take it or leave it. Just saying. Maybe if you wanted that, you can take it or leave it. It's on the table. But anyway, Green Bay and Philly. I'm actually going with an upset here. I'm going with the Eagles. I think they can. They're 1-2. I think Doug Peterson's going to motivate that team. They're going to come into Green Bay with just. I think they're going to come in there and make a statement. I think Green Bay is going to be a little unprepared. My fantasy player to watch though, Marquez Valdes-Scantling from the Packers. He's proven himself as a pretty good wide receiver, and I'm not sure how good the Eagles secondary is. So, and Devontae Adams has had a not that good of a year, but like if you need a flex or something, or Marquez Valdes-Scantling would be a good option. Tennessee and Atlanta, I think Tennessee wins this big, and I think if you're debating between starting Derrick Henry and another person, I'd start Derrick Henry, but I don't know. Atlanta allows a lot of yards through the air, and especially with Kawhi O'Neal, safety, for them being out the rest of the year, I'd take a pass threat, like maybe pick up Marcus Mariota if you need a QB. New England and Buffalo, New England defense and special teams scored me 35 against Miami. It is against Miami, but still. They have been putting up big points, like consistently getting over 15, 17. They even got me 35 that 1 week, so I think they will win this. This is going to be a pretty good matchup, though. I do like Buffalo's team this year, but I don't know, man. New England's just New England, and I think they're just going to end up winning. But New England defense special teams, I'm pretty sure someone in your league probably would already have them, but I mean, just in case. Kansas City and Detroit, I'm going to take Kansas City. And basically, you can pick up anyone on the Chiefs when it comes to fantasy football. I mean, they are just such a dynamic offense. You could take anyone. Now, I have Damian Williams, and I don't know if Damian Williams is going to play. I'm praying that he does, or else I am screwed at running back. But, I mean, the Lions have looked pretty good at home, but I think that the Chiefs will win. Oakland, Indianapolis, I'm going to take Indianapolis, but the best tight end in fantasy, I swear, I'm pretty sure Darren Waller put up 29.3 for me last week. He's an absolute monster. Indianapolis doesn't guard tight ends well, too. So, pick up Darren Waller if you can. But I think Indianapolis wins at home. Pick up literally anyone on the Chargers. Pick up Mike Williams or someone for a week. Just a fantasy, I guess, tip. If there's someone, like, available in your league on a team that's playing the Dolphins, pick them up. Like, Mike Williams is, like, a pretty good second wide receiver for them. Pick them up against Miami. I think the Chargers roll big. Miami's terrible. Washington and the Giants. Saquon Barkley is going to be out till like week 11. R.I.P. to any of you who had him in fantasy. But Wayne Gallman is the backup. And usually, like, when your running back gets hurt, get their backup. They'll usually be available. Like last year, you Le'Veon Bell owners, with him sitting out, picked up James Conner, and it was basically the same thing. Nonetheless, Daniel Jones looked very good in his first game as a Giant. I expect him to continue that. The Redskins look bad. They look really bad. Cleveland and Baltimore. I'm going to take Baltimore here. I don't really know any fantasy players here. I mean, Marquise Brown or so. Oh, Mark Andrews. If none of you have picked him up, pick him up. Baltimore. He's like Lamar's new favorite target. Carolina and the Texans. My fantasy player to watch here is Kenny Stills, because the Panthers don't really have that good of a second. I mean, like Trey Boston is your best corner. They're probably going to put a lot of attention on Nuke Hopkins, meaning Kenny Stills could get some targets and some catches. I think it would Kyle Allen, QB for the Panthers coming in for Cam Newton. I think the Texans will win, but Kyle Allen actually looked pretty good in the last week, so I think that they'll have a good game here. But I do think that the Texans will win this game. Minnesota and Chicago, my Bears, finally showed up to the field against the Redskins. Thank God. Clinton Dix with a pick six. I'm glad that he's going to contribute. That's amazing. I think the Bears get this win at Soldier Field. I do like their chances in this one. I'm going to go with a fantasy player to avoid. Stephon Diggs. I've had him on my team. Oh my God, he's been terrible. He gets like one catch a game. He's averaging like 7 points or something just atrocious. If you have Stephon Diggs, use him as trade bait on a string to try to bait someone into giving you a pretty good player. I've tried to do that. None of my friends are falling for it. But it's alright. I do think the Bears win with some good defensive help. Pick up literally anyone on the Rams. The Buccaneers are terrible. I mean, how do you lose to the Giants? That's awful. But I do think LA is going to cruise in this one. I mean, Cooper Kupp, I guess. I don't know. I would just pick up anyone on the Rams if you can. Like, what's his name? Malcolm Brown, the backup running back. The guy that they use in the red zone so Gurley doesn't get touchdowns. What's going on with Gurley, by the way? Like, he gets no fantasy points. I've turned this into, like, a fantasy tips video, and I'm not even good at fantasy football, so I'm sorry about that. I thought maybe this would be a good addition. I'm noticing it's kind of not that good, but whatever. Seattle and Arizona. Seattle got mollywopped by the Saints. I mean, yeah, they only lost by 5, but they scored a touchdown with like no time left. And the Saints kind of just let their foot off the gas in the fourth quarter. I expect the Seahawks to roll against Arizona. DK Metcalf, good wide receiver for the secondary. Maybe get him if you need one. Arizona, David Johnson, I feel like will have a good game because they gave up a bunch of points to Kamara. Kamara got me like 37. So I do think that David Johnson will have a good game. Jacksonville and Denver. Here's where I think Denver gets their first win. It is hard to play in that thin air up there. Bears almost lost because of that. Denver, all Denver sports teams, the Nuggets, the Rockies, the Avalanche, and the Broncos, all have like the biggest home field advantage in like all of sports. It's amazing. I would definitely, Broncos defense maybe, Philip Lindsay, they're probably going to try to run the ball a lot. So I expect Denver to have a big game here. I think they get their first win. Sunday Night Football at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. You can basically pick up anyone. Any Saints player, any Cowboys player. They're all going to have big games. This is going to be an offensive shootout, and I like that. This is going to be a very good game. I expect the Saints to win at home. It is very hard to play in that dome, and Teddy Bridgewater looked really good in Drew Brees' replacement. He did it against a good Seahawks defense, so I like the way that Teddy Bridgewater has played. Saints at 2-1, they're one game above everyone else. I think if they win this game, they're gonna be in real good shape because I think the Bucs will lose, I think the Panthers will lose, and I think that the Falcons will lose. So if the Saints win this game, they can put themselves in some firm control of that division, being up 2 games. And then our Monday night matchup's kind of a dud, but I will say, Pittsburgh has a very bad secondary. Their safeties and corners are not good. John Ross and Tyler Boyd, 2 receivers for the Bengals. Tyler Boyd has been getting consistently like good points, and John Ross had exploded for 35 points and 22 points. And the other week, he got 2.2 points. That's the reason I lost, because John Ross laid a big turd in the bed. But I do expect them both to have bounce-back games. The Bills, I think, are a very underrated defensive team. I should have known that. I should have started Allen Robinson. I should have picked up Taylor Gabriel. Dude got like 40 points. But I expect both of them to have good games. But I do expect the Steelers to win. Mason Rudolph has not looked terrible as Big Ben's backup. I mean, he hasn't been great, but he hasn't really been that awful. So I do expect him to have a pretty good game, and I think this will be a low-scoring defensive matchup. But I do think that the Steelers come out on top. Let me know if you like the fantasy thing. I'm realizing that was a mistake. I'm sorry. That probably was so annoying. Pick up this guy, pick up this guy, pick up this guy. I'm sorry for that. My B, I should not have done that. That was probably so annoying. But anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. Peace out. Oh, I forgot to make my lock. My lock is... My streak pick won, didn't they? I forgot who I picked as my streak pick. Oh, I picked Green Bay over Denver. They won. So I'm at 1 in a row now, and we'll say my lock is going to be LA over Tampa Bay. That's my lock. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much, and goodbye.